Amanda said, can you press charges? Oh, wait. Can you press charge for threat of using pepper spray on you? Wasn't sure if you could or would. I didn't see that, but he's threatened to pepper spray everybody. So once again, you can't take I don't take anything that Ramsey does seriously. And in terms of what he says, occasionally, like 1 out of 100 things, there'll be a grain of truth or it'll be something that's already been proven true. So he can't kind of back out of it. He's got to acknowledge it. So occasionally there will be like a little thing that he has to admit to, but by and large, just make shit up. He says whatever he feels like at the moment. So I don't really put much stock in anything he says, which is why largely people tell me he says XYZ. It really doesn't matter. Except for as it relates to his crime and legal situation. So I really try to focus on the stuff that's going to make his own legal situation bad, right? That's the stuff that's most worth it. In terms of threats, like Ramsey is not at all a threat. The guy is 5'0". Like it's not really, he's not going to do anything. Tarek Ramos, so taking the mindset, can a red passport get around the travel ban or someone banned? Doesn't matter the passport color. Tarek, I have answered this question. I don't care if your passport is purple. I don't care if it says special and it gives you a gold star sticker on the front. There's no way to get past a travel ban. He cannot leave when he's still travel banned, which he is, right? That's at a national immigration level. It does not matter if you have the magical passport. This is magical passport. It doesn't get you out. Passport is a piece of paper. It does nothing relative to the exercise of sovereign power of another country. So that's just really what it is. KK Curveball for 499 says, what's the violent threats against you, crypto launch police? What are the Automore charges? They're once again, I don't put any stock. He can't hurt anybody, so I'm not threatened by him at all. He's completely impotent. He's locked down. He's in Hank's apartment. He's not going to do anything. He does everything. Johnny says everything he can say just to get a reaction, and there's no threat. There's no reaction. Gamercron says, not really in a hurry to see RKI Mini Picker today. What? Mini Pucker. Oh, Picker. Yes. Yeah, that's what happened. Says, I can see the public defender making a case for RKI in front of the judge, only for the prosecutor to just sigh and roll the live streams on TV like Better Call Saul. Yeah, there's going to be definitely some footage for sure. Absolutely, 100%. So don't you guys worry about that. They have enough footage. Whether they show it all is up in the air, but they're going to have it to show. Rigo says for 10, as much as I want to see him in the cabbage fields, the court should put him in an asylum instead. Shame I wouldn't be able to buy kimchi provided by RKI when I go to Korea. They're not going to put him in an asylum because despite the fact he's acting crazy, he wouldn't be able to qualify and test it. And they haven't made that plea. Right, you'd have to do that you'd have to make a bunch of filings beforehand, and that's not been done yet. So it's very clear. And look, they're not dumb. They know exactly what he's doing. He's playing this for attention, and he's playing that specifically for attention because he needs the cash. So he's trying to get the attention of his sole streaming platform, which he's trying to do better on. He's trying to shill his scam crypto, which we called out. I actually knew about that months and months ago, but I called that like last week, and there you go. He's shilling a scam coin. And that's kind of the bottom of the barrel when that's what you have to go to is scam coin. What else do we got here? We got Proxy 4818 says, wow, Ramsey must be having a mental breakdown. I almost wish I could feel sympathy, almost being a key word considering everything he's done. Yeah, and every time he tries to make an argument, he is the worst enemy against his own argument or feeling sympathetic for him because he continues to dig himself deeper and continues to do worse and worse and worse things, So yeah. What stage is a streamer stalker charge at? I don't know. We know that it was filed, so we don't know how far they advanced that. So we can't tell you yet. When it's at trial, we will know for sure. So oftentimes it's ambivalent between step 2 and step 4. We know it's been submitted and they think they have enough evidence. So it's at least at step 2, probably step 3. And then when it gets to step 4, it gets to court. We'll let you know. Kerbal says he launched crypto last night, got charges. It could be. Once again, I list all the possible charges. It's up to South Korea to decide what they want to go after and what they want to not, right? So on my channel, we talk a lot about what's possible. And oftentimes there may be reasons why they don't do it. That can stem from it's complicated. Maybe they don't think they have enough evidence, or maybe they have other charges they think are sufficient, or maybe it's just kind of laziness. There's all sorts of reasons. There could also be witnesses that don't want to cooperate. So, for example, if a business does not want to cooperate, that could cause a problem. And so there's a lot of reasons why a charge that could come up might not come up. Fitty Tucker for 10 says, doubt the judge watches streams, but he will take public opinion into consideration. God help us if he lets him walk. He's not going to walk. That's not going to happen at all. At a minimum, he would get fined a sufficient amount of money. That would be, this is the bare minimum. This is the worst case scenario, which I've always said, is it possible? Yes. I think it's growingly less likely. Is it possible he could be hit with a very large fine, multiple thousands of dollars, and he would be deported from the country and banned from Korea? Effectively, it's going to be for forever. That's possible. It's possible. I think that with his actions, it's become less and less and less likely every single day. And by the way, if he needs to pay that fine before he leaves, it's not like you can get us on credit, right? He's got to pay that fine. But that would be the worst case scenario. And of course, that would be horrible, because that would be, in the eyes of, the world, that just a slap on the wrist for this guy, to just give him a fine and let him walk. It's always possible, but I don't think it's likely, given everything we've seen and how bad it's getting. Or Siegel says, Johnny loses it. How much do you lose if you never had any? I know. But I think it's real mental breakdown. I actually truly do believe that, look, the kid's been trapped there for like almost a year now. He can't really do anything. He's stuck in Hank's apartment with Hank's love rags. He's got no cash. He's got nothing. He's got no friends. He's stuck there, and, he can stream, but here's the thing. He's getting reported immediately, right? They're on him like pretty quickly. They're dragging him back home. You're not, and he can't even hang out with his other streamer bros. We're going to watch some video of his streamer bros that are in other parts of Korea, and he's not even able to go around them. He can't even come around them, right? Because he's, number one, he's scared to, and he knows there could be some legal consequences. But he hasn't even, he can't join them, and will never be back on their platforms, which is also bad. For him. Benton says, for 50, any chance to lock him up to protect their citizens, since he's basically on a crime spree without showing the plans? So this is where I was going with, they could detain him, right? They could keep him, but it would not be their standard operating procedure. So it's possible. I think the most likely scenario for this happening would be after the next court hearing. If they are going to hear about other charges, I think they might add to it. Owner says, I heard him say on a stream, no doxing, other stuff like that. Once again, they've made sort of all sorts of threats to me. I don't think they're credible threats. I think they're ridiculous. So Johnny claims that he has 2 attorneys, and he claims he has a public defender and a paid lawyer, right? So I don't believe that. If he had a paid lawyer, they would take all the cases and consolidate them. So if either he has 2 public defenders, or his other case hasn't even started yet and he doesn't have a paid lawyer at all, or he's just got the public defender. So I don't, until I see the consolidation of the cases and the name of the paid attorney, I think he's just sticking with that public defender. Once again, Ramsey says a bunch of stuff. The fact that anybody at this point is taking him seriously, you guys should consider the insanity plea yourselves if you take him seriously. It's me, Phil. Will he need to be repatriated when his sentence is done? He heads back to America and can be refused entry, left in the UK. Yes, he actually will. So as soon as he comes back, he will be forcefully deported. So he will have to buy a ticket back home. Let's see here. Yeah, so and guys, if you read any of the I read all your super chats about people threatening me. I literally don't care. I don't take any of that stuff seriously. I don't take any of these guys seriously. They're all jokers, and they have no ability to like harm a fly. And if you guys actually saw RK, I've seen RK in real life. He's nothing to be afraid of. He couldn't hurt anybody. If you tried to, like, let me put it this way, a small girl could break his wrist. So even if he tried to pull out pepper spray, first of all, he's like clumsy and drunk, right? You could just break his wrist like a twig. It's not even like difficult. Like a child, like a 7-year-old girl could do that. Let's see here. Fancy Beard says, at this point on his ill-conceived debauchery, I'm worried he will try to put his finger in the judge's mouth. Well, he would be broken. The bailiff just about sat him down at the courtroom because he was like so out of order and like confused and in the wrong place and whatnot. The bailiff could like snap him with a glance, right? The bailiff was pretty jacked, was a pretty jacked dude. He was kind of set like a power lifter. So he wasn't so tall, but he was like you could tell he could put someone down easily. So yeah, there's no worry about the judge. The judge is going to be fine too. Nick Atkins says, what punishments do they have while he's in prison? For example, if he refuses to work in the fields, if he's combated and unruly, could he get more time, fines, or are they solitary or water and bread? So if he hit a guard, then that would be a thing. But if he's just being like he doesn't want to work, then that's fine. He has to just stay in there until he finishes, right? So yeah, that's about the fines. So if you have an unpaid fine and you're not willing to work it off, well, you're going to have to eventually, right? You're just going to stay until you pay it off, right? So, you'd have to do that. You'd have to work at some point if you don't pay the fine. Of course, someone can pay the fine. Like if he gets the money to pay the fine, he can pay the fine. So if the fine was $20,000 and like his mom or his grandma or Hank's grandma or mom bails him out, Hank bails him out, that could happen, right? That's why you really want to bank on the jail time the most. But yes, I mean, technically, if he doesn't do work, they can't force him to work, but they can't force him to have to leave either.